Good morning, dear students. Today we will proceed our next chapter of history, chapter 14, Early History of Deccan and South India. First of all, we will discuss about megalithic culture. Megalithic culture spread over the whole of India. Its main concentration was in the Deccan, South India, the northeast and Kashmir. Till the 2nd century BCE, this region was the home of people who buried their dead and erected big pieces of stone called megaliths around the graves. Hence, they were known as megalith builders. Large number of whose stones monuments have been found, mostly in granite areas. Very often, an entire site was marked by placing huge round stones in a circle. These stone circles were first indication of megalithic culture in South India. Earlier, the archaeologists believed that the megalith people were nomadic. Nomadic means they are not staying at one place, hunters and food gatherers, but the discovery of axe, hammers, plowshare, and sickle revealed that they were agriculturists. Though agriculture was not much advanced, they probably grew ragi and paddy in small fields on the hill slopes at the plains were covered with dense forest. The megalithic people also used weapons like dagger, spear, knife, and sword. A trident means trishul has also been discovered in this period. Next, we will discuss about Satvahana culture. The Satvahana, also referred to as the Andhras in Puranas, were an ancient Indian dynasty based in the Deccan region. Most modern scholars believe that the Satvahana rule began in the late 2nd century BCE and lasted until the early 3rd century CE, although some assign the beginning of their rule to as early as the 3rd century BCE based on the Puranas, but uncorroborated by archaeologist evidence. The Satvahana kingdom mainly comprised the present day Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Maharashtra. At different times, their rule extended to parts of modern Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. The dynasty had different capital cities at different times, including Pratisthana and Amravati. Now, early history. The region to the south of Vindhya and Narmada, called the Deccan, was known as Dakshin Pat in earlier times. The Satavahanas emerged as a powerful kingdom in Deccan. They were highly influenced by the political system of Madras. Their rule continued from the 3rd century BCE to 1st century BCE for about 400 years. King Simuka was the his son Vasishthaputra Pulamavi set up his capital at Pratidhana. Yajnasari Satkarni was the last great ruler of Satvahan dynasty. The Satvahana rulers believed in the divine powers of the king. They divided the territories into provinces for efficient administration. They were the followers of Hinduism. They worshipped Lord Shiv and Vishnu. Many Buddhist chaityas and viharas were built during this period. The rock cut Chaitya Hall at Karle in Pune is a finest example of cave architecture. They had trade relations with Rome, Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Burma, and Malaya. The great Satvahan dynasty came to end in 220 CE. The empire came into hand of Rashtrakutas in Maharashtra, the Pallavas in Kanchi, and Ikshvakus in Andhra Pradesh. Now, Cholas, the Chola kingdom of Chola Mandala ruled over South India between Pennar and Velar rivers, the Chola set up their capitals at Kaveripattam, but later they shifted it to Tanjore and Gangakonda Cholapuram. Karikala followed the Vedic religion. He developed trade and industry. He gave royal patronage to Tamil literature. Now, Pandyas, the kingdom of the Pandyas was limited to southernmost and southern-eastern parts of Indian peninsula. Peninsula means covered three sides with water. They set up their capital at Madurai. Nedunjelium was the most important king of Pandya dynasty. The trade of pearl was developed by Pandyas. The rule of Pandyas continued until the 11th century CE when the powerful Chola king Prantaka I captured Madurai and defeated the Pandyas. Now, the Cheras, the Chera kingdom or Keralputra constitute of a narrow strip of land between sea and the western Ghats over Malabar, Cochin and Travancore, parts of modern Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Vanchi was the capital of Chera kingdom. Two great rulers of Chera dynasty were Nedunjeral and Sangotavan. Now, administration in the southern kingdoms. The Sangam literature tells us that territory during this period of southern kingdoms was divided into five geographical zones. First, hills and forests. Second, pasture land. Third, fertile land. Fourth, arid land. The king was assisted and advised by council of ministers, large army of soldiers, horses, elephants, etc. were well maintained. The soldiers patrolled the roads to ensure the safety of the merchants. Next, society and religion. The society of South India was caste ridden like North India. Brahmins and Kshatriyas dominated the other caste. The king donated large pieces of land to the temples, which were the center of worships as well as administration, culture, and meeting places to solve the problems. The worship of God Vishnu became popular. The people living along the sea coast and also worshipped sea god and god Murugan Kartikeya. They followed Buddhism and Jainism, and people loved music, dance, and poetry. They celebrated fairs and festivals in their free time. Now, occupation. Agriculture was the main occupation of the people. They used plowshare, sickle, and some other tools for cultivation. Important crops were rice, sugar, pulses, spices, etc. Land revenue and trade were the most important sources of state income. Muziris, Kaviripatnam, Korkai were the important trade center of Cholas, Pandyas and Cheras. The main items of trade were pearl, precious stone, textile and ivory. The foreign traders brought copper, tin, glass, wine, gold and silver to India. That's all about this chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.